Good afternoon, everyone. It's Ash and Jessica again here, and working with Jessica to bring through NULA with Conversations with NULA. And we'll see what kind of information that NULA wants to share with us this afternoon. As usual, I have my list of questions to ask, but we'll see if NULA's okay with that or wants to take the discussion elsewhere, whatever serves best. All right, with that, I'll pass it to you, Jessica.
Hello,
Hello, NULA.
hello,
Welcome.
Ash. Hello, everyone. We love you. During this time on your planet, things are happening globally, but everything that's happening globally is a response to what's happening individually. Because really, you're each having a completely individualized experience. You're each in a completely different reality. Every person in your life, every person in your world, you're experiencing your version of that person. You're experiencing your version of this world. And so during these changing times, it's important that you notice what your body is telling you, because when you're looking at me right now, you don't see me out your eyes through your screen. You see me inside. This is how light works in your eye. You don't hear me out here through the speaker. You hear me inside of your ear. Your body, what you identify as the end of you. You feel outside of you, inside of you. But your body is telling you that everything outside is actually happening in here because it is actually you. That's the real reality. And when you find yourself and everything in the world is changing, is falling apart, the river water is growing stronger, this black hole, to remember as you do this, your being, your heart will naturally guide you towards that which you love. And when you allow yourself to do it and ignore everything out here and only pay attention to in here, what happens is miracles unfold, changes. Things are going to fall apart so new things can come together. And when you act with your passion and you always see, no matter what, you always see with the eyes of your heart. Now, no matter what happens, no matter if it's a negative occurrence from your perspective, see from the eyes of your heart. Keep your vibration high, and you will see how things will unfold, things will change, miracles will unfold. Jessica has experienced this. She had no money when she was in Peru, and the person next to her offered to pay for her meal. She had nowhere to go after Peru, and people on her trip offered her a place to stay. Things will unfold for you when you are willing to allow for the deconstruction of what isn't really you and allow for the beauty of love to build in your life.
um, Thinking about for the Peru trip and thinking about how we are, when we travel and go to different places, how that can you maybe speak to how that affects the energy or how we're interacting with the world when we travel to places like Peru?
Yes. When you go to other places, a new place that you have not been to before, or what you think you haven't been to before, what you haven't been to before in this lifetime, this gives you permission to be different in your body. This gives you permission to activate the world of your body. Specific places on your planet have been put in place to they speak. In the silence, they speak. Listens. Unlocks things within your being. Unlocks things within your soul that have always been there but have been laying dormant. When you go to different places like Peru, when you're exposed to the culture there, when you're exposed to something different from your own culture that you know, this allows a freedom of limitation. And that's what's happening here on this planet, is you come into such a limitation so that you get to uncover that nothing is a limitation. Nothing should be a limitation. Everything should be free. This world is not just something that happened to be here and you happen to be born onto this planet. No, what the world is, the world, this planet, syncs up to the world of your body. How you orchestrate the energy in the world of your body syncs up to what world you experience in your reality. And you sync up with and you go places with people that match that frequency. And that's why you're experiencing that world with those people. And when you go to places when you're out of your element and you're open in that way, what happens is a reverberation. What happens is this reverse echo, and the world is different there. And this activates what is already different within you. And you then allow yourself to be different. So these people who have come before us, our ancestors, even if you're not from that culture, doesn't matter. Everyone is one. Your ancestors, they didn't just build something and we think it's cool and that's it. No. They left you a map. They left you a key. They left you a secret that's within you, but you can see it outside of you, intangible. And that makes it so much easier for you to sync up with, to feel, to be, to understand that humanity is so much more than what we make of it. So when you travel this world within your body, the orchestration of your energy, so too does travel. And it allows avenues and aspects of self that you had no idea you were capable of. It allows more of your soul, more of your spirit to flow into your being, to flow into your now. It allows you to sync up much easier to other lifetimes that are all happening right now. It allows you to sync up to the energy of those that have come before you. And that depends, what you get out of it depends upon what frequency you're in, what emotional state you're in, what thought state you're in. If you are in a mood of love and open-mindedness, then you sync up to the love, to the curiosity, to the wonder of those that came before you that walked on that very land. And this is very powerful. We are all so very powerful. Every one of you, every being on this planet. And it's a beautiful reason why. It's because you're never alone. It's never just you.
When we travel, or it could be just being in nature. I'm thinking about actually a kind of a different situation where we did some hypnosis with another person and brought through an energy that was a natural energy that had been lost. And it said by doing the hypnosis, we've actually been able to bring that back into our reality at this time. Uh, Shilabo, it was called, or the energy identified itself by that name. Does that have any significance for you? No. Oh.
Yes, this is happening on your planet, and there are pieces of you that have been lost. And this is why when you go out into nature and you sync up to the energy there, and then you came in connection with this energy that was lost. So isn't it a beautiful thing that you went out into nature? Anything, a soul, also finding a piece of yourself that was lost. But isn't that a beautiful thing that you have a piece of yourself that is lost so that you're able to help that soul as well? So everything has to do with frequency, everything. And that didn't occur for no reason. There is a connection there, a deeper connection there that you can explore.
Hmm. And how best to do that? Through hypnosis or
It doesn't
meditation?
matter the
No?
modality you choose, it matters what you get most enjoyment out of.
Hmm.
Yes. When you're called to go out into nature and you do a hypnosis, when you're called to do a hypnosis session and you do, here's the thing, certain things you're supposed to know at a particular time. And sometimes there is a calling back of information to something that you're curious about again. But would it be great for someone to tell you the answer, or would it be great for you to uncover the answer?
Hmm. I have tried a couple times being in nature and trying to bring that forth, but I didn't have any sensation of, or any insights that came for it that I could say, but they could identify. Anyway, with
I
that,
feel
sorry, go ahead.
there is a right time and there is a right place for everything.
Mm.
And there is a new way that you're interested in. Yes. You're going to ask us about this, about channeling. And there's a way to do this. There is a way to do this that is a better way. Yes. Hmm. And this is something that it involves it involves a certain amount of your life being about you. Your life being about you, your life being about your own interests. And now that is something that has shifted, that has changed. even more so will happen with the selling, this building. More of your energy is going to be available for you.
Hmm.
And this will allow for this to occur. Yes. To allow for this to flow. Yes. Because there is a shifting between the masculine energy that is doing, that is trying to make things happen, and a feminine energy. And when you're so in a masculine energy of doing, it's hard to see when you're in a flow state, when you're following the reception, the feminine energy that is calling you to do this at this time, or you want to do this at this time. You want to check a check off a checklist. So it did not work those other times because you were in too much of a masculine energy. You were in too much of a doing, getting this done kind of energy, more than a flow energy, meaning you don't go out into nature with the intention to do this. You go out into nature to see what nature brings you. And that is the way you kind of follow this flow and it unfolds versus making it happen. Does this make sense?
It totally makes sense. I'm very task focused, so I mean I enjoy the process and the journey like this, but I agree that I set an intention with doing something and then you know carry on to complete whatever it is I set my intention on.
It is good to have the intention and then drop it. And then follow this call to joy
Hmm.
and see what happens without this has to happen here. This, it puts you in a different energy. It takes you out of the receptive energy, and to channel you need to be in a receptive energy. And this is something that you are doing, you are uncovering. It is a process and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a beautiful way for this to unfold, and this is going to help a lot of people because there are a lot of people who are doers, who are task oriented people, who are trapped in their masculine energy, that are going to start to wake up to this and want to do it. And they need somebody to look to. So, isn't this a great thing that you are experiencing this in this way? It is.
That's wonderful. I wondered if there was an opportunity to do some coaching of channeling while you're in channel because you could witness my energy and to try and allow that connection to open, or is I'm not sure. It was an idea that I had prior to the session.
Yes, this is, it's something that will unfold personally for you.
Hmm.
Yes.
All right. I look forward to that. It's
Yes.
I, every day I'm finding something new, so that's wonderful. Um, in a previous session that I had done with somebody channeling, they said that my purpose or a key purpose was to bring through some sort of inventions that would help with things that were going on now. And I wondered if that was still, they said I would be seeing like diagrams. I took it as like schematic diagrams of something, but I've not had that experience of anything coming to mind or anything happening that would support that. So I just wondered if that's something that's still in the energetic stream or not.
That is something that it could occur if you were to sync up with that and want that, desire that. But we feel that there's something different for you, and you're already doing it in a way, but it's going to be done in a greater capacity, and a capacity where you see it more. You already do this where you see things in people and you connect to them.
Hmm.
You bring people together. There is this very interesting way that you fluctuate between asking a question and having knowledge of an answer. Where most people, most souls, once they get a certain level of intelligence, of knowledge, they they hold that. They lose the ability to question, and they definitely lose the ability to flip back and forth between asking a question and having the answer, and being able to adjust and edit that answer. Uh, that is something that is very interesting. So there's almost a way where there is a diagram of that. So building something else. So you're doing a different version of what that other person saw. You're doing um, a version that more involves co-creation and working with other people instead of drawing what you see and how different pieces go together. Different pieces are different souls,
Hmm.
and you see their skills and you sync up together. And
Hmm.
that is a new way of humanity, is for people, for souls to sync up together with their own unique abilities and creating in this new way, not in this way of making something else that does this one particular thing. It's not another thing that is doing it. It is souls awakening to their skills.
Hmm. Yeah, what you said about bringing people together seems to be a very common theme or a strength I've noticed in myself of I just get this intuitive guidance to connect with somebody or to connect them with somebody to help them. So yeah, that feels very, very positive for me, I guess.
Mhm.
Good. We could just break for a second. I think to just jump to a question Jessica had about before we start doing a session, or before she starts doing, say, a hypnosis session or working with somebody, she was at one point she was getting flashing of very disturbing images that were coming in, and then they would kind of go away. And now, but she knew it was associated with them in the session. And now she's not sure where some of these images are coming from. So there's some uncertainty of source, and they've stopped coming. So she's not quite sure what's changed there. Can you talk to that a little bit just so she understands that more?
There is a particular person who she has now protected her energy from, and that flash was from a past life of Jessica's, but was a very similar past life of this other person as well. And it was a different viewpoint than Jessica's experience of that. And this why she couldn't clear it. And whenever she thought to herself to do a hypnosis session, it just didn't happen. That was not for a coincidence. That's because that was not hers. Uh, and now that she has protected her energy, the flash of that image has stopped, because that flash of that image, of that occurrence, of that happening, is very representative, symbolic of what is changing now. what is changing now is the masculine energy is actually serving the feminine energy. It is safe to be in the feminine energy, and you can move, you can fluctuate between the two as you feel called to in this situation, in that situation. This is what is happening now, and that other person, they have skewed things in a way that is not honoring the feminine energy, but instead weaponizing it in a way. And Jessica is clearing that out of her vibration.
So
That's
this,
why.
so this isn't something that she'll experience now going forward. She's okay.
She might if she syncs up to that again, but now she understands what it is and
Mm-hmm.
what to do.
Very good. I was curious if you could talk about what is happening on an energetic level when we have these conversations. So to us, it just seems like we're having a conversation with another being. But I'm curious at an energetic level, what is happening to be able to make these connections through time and space and facilitate this session?
To have these conversations, it's just a frequency. That's it. It's just a receptivity. It's like turning a dial. That's the thing. There's not some big orchestration that is happening, yet there is this huge orchestration that is happening. But at the same time, you, as a soul incarnated in a body, you have so much power. You have so many abilities that you have no idea of. So once you get to this point, once you get to this frequency where you allow yourself to be free and love yourself as you are, there starts to get to be a rhythm where no matter what's happening out here, you're okay in here. All of you can do that. Once you start to do that, you'll naturally feel this impulse to do this, to do that, to do this, to do that. And you have no idea where that winding road is going to lead. And for Jessica, she had an impulse to meditate every morning, right when she would wake up. And she did this for a whole year to the point where she thought she meditated for 2 days straight. And she's right, she did. And nobody knew. And this terrified her, so she stopped doing it. And after that point, we kept trying to speak to her. We kept trying to come in, and she kept pushing it away. But we kept putting her in situations, guiding her with the impulse of her heart to let go of what she was afraid of. And as you let go of what you're afraid of, let go of what it is you are afraid of, there's a space that opens up and you feel safe. And then we fill that space. So now there's nothing that she needs to do for this to happen. The work is already done. Sure, she can't do this 24/7 all day, but she allows her energy to be the same as nature. And she allows her energy to be the same in her heart space, all of her being. And then this happens. It's not so much of a challenge to do this. It's just something that most have not yet done, but will. Because in this energy, she allows herself to be close enough in frequency for there to be an overlap between the physical world and the spiritual world. 4D. This allows for us to speak through her. This is something that eventually all you and waving high treat.
Sorry, the recording cut out there for a couple of moments, so we didn't get those last few sentences. Maybe you could just repeat that.
This isn't something that you must work so hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
This is an energetic shift, little by little, day by day. You do things that make your heart sing. Jessica did this by meditating every morning when she woke up. And eventually she meditated for 2 days straight, and this terrified her. And then there was all this fear that you had to release. And now her frequency is close enough so that she can do this at any time. And this is what's changing. All humans will be able to do this. All humans now are being pushed to give in and follow their impulses, to let go and remove the fear. And when you do that, this is a natural occurrence. Channeling is natural. And humans will see how this is natural for you.
It's very good. I think probably a lot of our viewers are going to start thinking about how they can become channels as well and invite that connection as well. So, were wonderful words. Um, just shifting slightly now to the topic of health. It's said that we come into the world and that our bodies want to be in perfect health, but we establish disease through dis-ease in our actions and the vibrations we hold on to. And I just wondered if you can talk to that a little bit about how we can improve our health or clear issues by maybe trying to take on different vibrations.
Yeah. To improve your health, that's the problem right there. Look at your planet. Never been more concerned about health, ever. People are and you have never been, because when you pick a side, you automatically there's another side. Okay? If there's a cure, then there's a disease. But when you're healthy, you're not trying to improve your health. You're just seeing what is healthy and thankful for what is healthy and feeling the vibration of what healthy feels like. So this is how you're moving out of masculine energy. I have to improve. Something is wrong. Something is wrong with this body? No. Your body is fine. Everyone's body is fine. Everyone's body is an amazing temple, is the most beautiful machine orchestrated for so much beauty. And when you're doing what you love, your body is fine. You are healthier and healthier. When you feel the love that you are, when you see and appreciate and love this health of this moment that you have, you don't have any problems with your health. It will all fade away. We do understand that you have diseases, physical ailments on your planet, and you are doing it to yourself. You're doing it to yourself. It is something that is an emotion that you choose. It is a frequency match that has manifested in that particular way. This is something that sometimes you wished for before you incarnated. You planned it before you incarnated to awaken your soul to a different wish of beingness. And that is why. But you're doing your passion, if you're looking with the eyes of your heart and going for these impulses, you allow your frequency to raise. Just look up at the sky. How remarkable, how beautiful. You do these little things, and eventually all the worry fades away. In the beginning, and then it continues, it perpetuates, it perpetuates. But you're starting to uncover you don't have to do that. That no matter what is happening around you, you can be love. You can love yourself. And you can feel great being yourself. And you can trust that everything is happening for you. And as you do that and you act where your heart is pulling you, illnesses will fade. Your physical beingness, you will be so healthy, you will be shocked. You will be in awe, you will be in amazement of what you have been doing to yourself all this time.
So, are there other issues like with toxins in food, environmental conditions that also contribute to ill health?
The world around you is a projection from within your being. So, when there are toxins out here, there's some kind of toxin you're choosing in here. There are people on your planet that have been exposed just like others, and they don't have any symptoms. They don't have any illnesses. They don't have any problems. And then there are people that are exposed to these problems, these toxins, and they do. This is because there is nothing out here that can do anything to you. You're doing everything. You're always doing everything to yourself. Every person, every occurrence that's happening on this planet, no matter how big it is, you're doing it to yourself. And when you're moving through this void, that's the thing. Everyone else, all the other beings on your planet have synced up to everything on the planet being so toxic nobody can live. You can. Because nobody can impact you. when you make that shift, everything around you, it gets a little bit worse. It gets a little bit darker. It gets a little bit scarier. You're moving through the void. And the only way to make it through is to look with the eyes of your heart, is to be love, is to be in a state of love, is to love yourself and to love every part of what you're doing all the time. The thing is, you deserve to be loved all the time. You deserve to love everything all the time. You just don't think that something like that could ever be possible. You're showing this to yourself. This is not only possible, this is who you are.
Very good. Just one last question and then we'll conclude for the day. I was just wondering what the role of pets were in people's lives. And I often find a similarity between the personality of the pet and the personality of the pet owner. And I just wondered if you can comment on that for people.
Oh, pets can be so many different things. And for many of you pets, it's love. It's unconditional love. Pets mostly incarnate to give you unconditional love. Yes, it's like they are a piece of your soul that wants to give you some unconditional love here. Yes. And you have incarnated with your pets before. Yes, of course. They have their own journeys here as well. And it's a beautiful way for spirit to get a message, give you signs, to give you messages. They are here to help raise your vibration. They come into your life. This is carefully orchestrated, and this isn't something that just happens. It is a gift. They are a gift to raise our vibration. And also, there are pets that are being prepared. They're being prepared to be human. And sometimes that's because they were a wild animal before. Sometimes that's because they come from another planet. They want to observe. Sometimes they come here to be in service, to allow people to learn. Sometimes there is an angelic being or a guide that is the soul of your pet that came here to help you. That came here to be something. Like if you see an animal that is mistreated, and a person that sees this, they rescue that animal, and then they end up creating something to help other animals. Oftentimes, that animal that they saw, the soul of that animal, was a spirit guide, was an angelic being, somebody who planned that. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they come into our lives to protect us so we feel safe enough to explore different things spiritually. Oftentimes, people have a pet and they go through a journey during the time of having that pet. They had that pet while they lost their mom. That pet came into their life right before. this happened or that event happened in their life, and this animal planned their incarnation to help you through. It's a beautiful gift here. Yes.
Hmm. I have a pet dog that my wife was very motivated to want to adopt a pet, and we brought this dog into our lives, but it ended up being the dog has taken. I'm like the number one person in the dog's life, so we've become very close, and I've always found that a gift. But I'm curious as to how that all came about.
You cut out in that question, but you're asking about your pet and how all of this events, miraculous events unfolded for this pet to be yours.
Hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And there's something here that your pet, she wanted to teach you. She taught you something there before she even came into your life. Yes.
Mm.
She taught you to believe in the power, your own will. Because your wife said, this is going to be your pet. And look at the miraculous things that unfolded for this to happen. And this is what we're saying. This universe, things are not just happening. There's so many, constantly, that can happen for you about all different kinds of things can unfold for you in ways where you just happen to be sitting next to this person, where you just happen to know that person, and they just happen to be associated with this dog. All kinds of things like this are occurring all the time. And now you understand how to be a frequency match to that. So you see this incarnation, it's a game in a way. See it like that. It's a game that's always in your favor because it's constantly giving you feedback if you're there, if you're not there. So start to pay attention like that. This is a game. And look at the frequency I was at when that happened and this happened and everything synced up. There is no limitation. Things all around this world, people you have never even met, you could just happen to bump into that. How could I possibly bump into this person? And how could they possibly talk about this? And how could they possibly know somebody that can sync me up with this, that can have this occurrence happen? There's so much more that's going on here. There is so much more that you actually have a say of with what happens out here that appears to be out of your control. It is out of your gets there before you do. Your energy syncs up to this, syncs up to that before you do. Your energy always does. And it is building what you will find at the end of that road and what you will find all along the way. But you can make your energy in such a way that what you find delights you with such intricate detail that you couldn't even make it up if you tried, because it is so beautiful. We're all out here, this limitation of a fishbowl, wishing for an aquarium that is slightly bigger. And we are giving you the ocean, complete freedom. That's what's happening. And this is what she showed you.
Hmm. When I take my dog for a walk in the morning, I very easily can feel gratitude and raise my own vibration by just thinking about how miraculous this whole relationship was. And it's one of those truth points, I guess, in life. I can go, that was just too weird that that happened the way it did, that there has to be some sort of divine something beyond what we're aware of that enabled it to happen. So I totally agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
As a great example. Okay, we're having a little bit of issues with the connection again today. Unfortunately, a little bit of it is broken, but I think we got the majority of those messages that you've shared with us and to share with whoever views the video. Um, so with that, we'll conclude the day and thank you again for the love that you're sharing with us and participating in these conversations. Thank you.
Yes.
Uh, Namaste.
Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone so much. Be so much kinder to yourself. You're doing just fine. And what's happening now is the universe trying to give you miracles. Just let it happen. Love yourself and know that no matter what it seems like, it's leading to miracles not being a rare occurrence, but being a constant, because that's what's actually happening. Okay.
Wow.
Oh,
Well, that's good. How you feel?
yeah, good.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. Anything to say before we conclude?
No.
Okay. So thank you everyone for watching. Jessica this is on our YouTube channel, so please like and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos, and we'll try and continue to make more of them and hopefully get more of a following. I think there's some great messages here from Nuala. So thank you for joining.